back to another episode of the Higher Level podcast. So tonight it's James Doolan and myself, and we're joined by UFC Featherweight Danny Henry. Danny, thanks for giving us some time tonight, mate.
Thanks for having me on. Sure.
I appreciate it. Obviously, we're all nearly at the end of week 2 in lockdown. How's things going for you? How's it been so far?
Not great, mate, to be honest with you. Same as everybody else, cleaning the walls. Ended up painting my bathroom the other day. It's not great.
Especially when you're used to being active and in the gym all the time. It's so how long do you think you'll be able to survive this for? Because I think the talk is we might be looking at June.
I have no idea. No idea how I managed till June. But I've been training in that. Like, I'm supposed to be fighting on the 25th in the States, but I've still not officially heard anything from the matchmakers. But I'm led to believe that the fight's now off. So a bit frustrated.
Aye. Obviously, because you've been away from the cage for a while. But it does look at this stage that the 25th April, it's highly unlikely. I don't think we'll see anything in April MMA-wise.
I don't think we'll see anything either, honest, but we'll just need to play it by ear and stay ready, I suppose, and hope to jump at an opportunity at some stage. Failing that, I'd love to get out on the Dublin card in August.
Well, I mean, I guess that's the silver lining. The Dublin card's potentially one that we might still see happening. Obviously, we've still got a bit of time. It's just you really don't know what's happening day to day because things are changing so quickly. So how was that for you? Obviously, because you were training for this fight leading up to the lockdown. Once that lockdown happened, did you pretty much get the feeling that this fight might not happen, or were you still quite hopeful it would go ahead?
I'm always I was always trying to stay quite positive and hope that it was going to go ahead. I just stayed in touch with James. I had strength and conditions that have been sent out to me. I like training on my own anyway. I do a fair bit on my own. I enjoy shadow boxing and stuff. I think you get a lot from the visualization anyway. So I was happy to just tick over myself, get myself fit and go in there and compete. But it's just not meant to be. So it's out with my control. There's no point in stressing out about it. I've just got to use this time the best I can and look to the next matchup. That's it. And just James, quickly for you, how interesting an experience was that when you still felt like Danny's fight was on, but you couldn't really get him you can maybe get him to the gym for one-on-ones. How weird was that trying to coach him for a distance?
It was a different challenge like we've ever faced before. I think if it was like a novice pro guy, it would have been more of a problem. But I think if the fight had went ahead and Danny had to do maybe 3 or 4 weeks on his own, as long as he gets in shape, he knows how to fight. It's not going to be you're not teaching him anything. He knows how to fight. He's had enough pro fights now and amateur fights, and he's been around the game long enough that it's just basically more a case of getting his weight down and getting him fit. So it was going to be an interesting challenge, but the other guy would have been in the same boat. Like he's training the same. It's not like they're in a country where there's no lockdown or quarantine. I seen on his Instagram he was still in a gym with some people maybe last week or something, but none of it was an old picture. But I think with Danny's experience and stuff like that, it would have been a different test or a challenge, but his son would have coped with.
Yeah, that's it. And Danny, for you, it's obviously, it was March your last time competing against Dan Ige, so that's, even if this fight went ahead on the 25th, that's over a year since you've been in there. I know you've had a lot of changes in your personal life, obviously, you've become a father, so obviously that's one of the amazing experiences you've had in your time out. What's it been like for you being away from the cage so long?
Well, it's not been a choice. I was matched in August. I was supposed to fight in the Copenhagen card, and about 3 days after I'd signed the fight agreement, I was sparring away and hurt my neck quite badly. So it wasn't, the year thing's not been a choice. I was out for maybe 10 weeks with a sore neck right through Christmas, and then it landed, Christmas period landed and everything slows down a bit, and then it just sort of started to kick in again at the start of the year. So as much as I've been out over a year now, it's not really been through like a personal choice. It's not something I would have chose to do.
Yeah, and like I said there, you've obviously become a father in that time period. How has that been, new baby, and all the challenges that come with that?
Hands down the best experience. I know everybody says it, it's kind of like birthday card pish. Everybody's like, oh, it's the best thing that will happen, that, but it really has been the best thing that's ever happened there. Like, I can't get enough of the wee guy, to be honest with you, and it's been brilliant. We're pretty fortunate. He's a real good sleeper. He sleeps every night right through, so in terms of that, he's great, and he's really well behaved, so I can't really fault.
That's definitely a blessing, having a good sleeper. But I'm here to tell you that's a parent trap, by the way. My first child was a great sleeper. The second one, it's a nightmare. So bear that in mind.
I'm one and done, I think.
I think sometimes that's a wise choice, to be honest. Some actually
getting eyes off misses.
Well, this is the thing. I said the exact same thing, but I get slowly wore down, and eventually I gave in. But I'm glad I did. To be fair, I'm glad I did. So something me and James had spoke about before, and it was kind of about yourself. How is having your first child? Do you feel that's changed you in terms of as a fighter, in terms of your motivation and stuff like that?
Motivationally, I think it's been positive. And honestly, like, everybody wants the best for their children, and fighting in the UFC can be lucrative. So I want to provide the best possible future for my wee guy. And if fighting in the UFC is the best way to do that, then it's motivated me more so to go in there and earn some money. So I think it's definitely been a positive experience.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what you felt. You said about Danny Winter that you felt it would be a motivating thing for James, but you felt like it softened you as a fighter almost.
It changed my mentality. I remember having this discussion actually. I remember saying I think it'd be a good thing for Danny, like to focus on and stuff. But I remember it. Just fighting was everything for me. It was just life or death, and nothing else mattered. And then, as soon as I had a kid, I was like, the fighting's not actually that important anymore.
Priorities shift a wee bit.
Everything shifted. Even the way I was approaching fights and stuff changed a wee bit. It used to be I was just trying to kill people. I was really just like so afraid of getting hurt. I needed to hurt this guy first, and then after that. After I'm a kid, it was like, as long as my kids are right, it doesn't really matter. But you can see that in guys in the gym. Sometimes having a kid can be the end of them as a fighter. And then we used Stevie as an example the last time. I was like, he needs to come out fighting to provide for his kids. But I was pretty positive that Danny will use it to motivate him. I've said this before, he's smart. He knows he's got a time frame and a window of opportunity in the UFC to get in, make as much money as he can, and then get out and being smart with his investments and stuff.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask as well, we've got 2 years on. You've spoken in the past, James, you've kind of said you don't so much game plan for Danny's fights. Can we just go back over that with Danny here? So when you're approaching a fight with Danny, what sort of tactics do you use, and how do you normally approach it?
I have a look at the opponent, not too much, like not too much in depth, but I'll have a look at the size of the guy, what stance is he in, what does he favour? Does he like pressure? Does he like backing off? Is he looking to grapple? Everybody in the UFC is going to be pretty well rounded, so they're going to be competent everywhere. But you can tell guys have a natural kind of style of fighting if you let them play it. I'll look at maybe the last 2 or 3 fights, how they're losing, or in some of the fights they're winning, how they're losing rounds even, and then just take some ideas for that. But we don't generally go in with like a super strict game plan with Danny. It's like we're going to go in and have a fight and then suss it out as we go, and kind of figure it out during the 15 minutes.
Yeah, and obviously, Danny, for yourself, that approach seems to work for you. Do you kind of like that approach? Just you can feel the fight out and see how things play out.
I'm pretty comfortable where the fight goes. I'm the same. I look at the fights and I wouldn't obsess over them. If he's a strong grappler or he's a strong striker or whatever, it makes no difference. It's not going to change it. All I'll really do is cloud my judgment if I'm consistently looking at footage over and over again, and I'll just obsess over it. So I just need to go in there and control my actions and then see how the fight pans out, and then just trust my instincts and trust my training and hope that I'm the better man on the night. I think that's all you can do. The more complicated you make it, the more in depth you study stuff, I think you'll only cloud your mind and potentially ruin your performance. In my last one there with Ige, I'll first put my hands up and say that I overthought the first round. I went in there and I was like, my whole first round was kill his wrestling. And we spoke about it in the gym. I wanted to take the confidence out of his wrestling because I felt like it's an area that I've not really been pushed in, with him being an American and he had a wrestling or a grappling background. I thought it was an area he would try and exploit quite quickly. So I was like, right, first round, I'm just going to go in there, I'm going to kill his wrestling, I'm going to stuff his takedowns, and then I'm going to impose my game plan. And not for 1 second that first round did I think that he could hurt me on the feet. And sure enough, circled right off the cage thinking he was going to shoot a double against the fence like he'd done on the footage, and I got cracked with a sort of stepping through overhand left, and then that led to the grappling, and I kind of lost to myself.
Yeah. So I guess then all we can do with that is look back at it, and it seems like you've managed to take something out of the loss that will benefit you going forward.
I've never really dwelled on many losses before. I've never really lost like that before. I've never been stopped. Anytime I've lost before, I've always had 3 or 5 rounds to go back and analyse where I went wrong, what I could have done better. I've always been able to go back and reflect on it and be like, right, I can improve that, or I can improve that. That fight was over so quick. There's not really a lot I can look back on. I think it was more a mental thing. And then on top of that, it's such a quick sport. Like, it only takes a split second for you to make one error and you get clipped, and those 4-ounce gloves are pretty unforgiving. I first put my hands up and say, I didn't even care what he hit me with at the time. I mind asking James afterwards, what did he hit me with? I had no idea. I didn't remember tapping to the choke. I got caught. He rung my bell early, and hats off to him. It's the fight game. I've done it 2 years ago to Hakeem. I'm sure he's far more capable of fighting me differently. If we were to fight again, I'm sure the fight would pan out completely differently. But that's the sport, and that's just how ruthless it can be.
Yeah, because James had said that the comparisons with Danny's win against Hakeem, then obviously the subsequent loss to Ige, it was very much similar how you won and then Ige won. It was kind of similar, wasn't it?
It's the exact same.
Yeah, it's pretty much my worst nightmare, in all honesty. There.
Yeah, it's obviously it's no ideal losing, but like you say, that's the sport. There's so many variables.
I've no qualms with losing. I've never like I said, I don't really dwell on losses as long as I know that I went in there and I've gave it 110% and I've lost to the better man on the night. I can walk away and put my hands up, look at the data, look at where I went wrong, and only improve as a fighter. Do I feel like I went in there and gave it 110% that night and gave the best account of myself? No, really. So that one stuck with me a wee bit, and it is what it is. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's just then about getting the next opportunity now, getting that fight and getting that win and getting back on track, I guess.
Absolutely.
And something else we'd spoke about, I think it was on the last episode, we'd been talking about the Mike Perry situation, and James obviously mentioned you work in the doors and stuff like that. So I was interested, how is that working in the doors, being a UFC fighter? And obviously I'm assuming people know who you are. Is everybody nice and happy, or do you get the occasional idiot?
Yeah, Nah, like I suppose like the local guys do know who I am, but I get on with them. Like Edinburgh's a fishbowl essentially. Like all the regular guys will know who I am and know what I do. But we're quite a student friendly venue, and every year it's new students, new people from all over the country, and they don't know. So I'll often have some 18-year-old law student from Edinburgh Uni either trying to saying he's got to sue me or he's got to punch my head in, one of the two. But either way, it's a hard go, and it'll definitely test your patience. But easy going. It's pretty easy going.
There must be some humour involved. You must have a chuckle to yourself sometimes.
I do. It's usually the other guys that I work with are just like, man, like you're barking up the wrong tree here. I know he looks like a skinny wee bastard. He can actually fight. Like, you should probably pick on me if you're going to try and pick on anybody, but it is what it is.
I can just picture that the new law student or something like that coming up trying to start a fight with a UFC featherweight. What a mistake that is. No,
unbelievable. Happens more often than not.
I wonder if the guy that tried to pick a fight with Mike Perry was a law student or something, but was it a mistake? It seemed like that.
I hope so.
If I'd done something as daft as that, I wouldn't be posting it on my own Instagram, that's for sure.
I think we can all agree Mike Perry's I think he's hilarious, but I think he's got a few screws loose, let's be honest.
He's wild, man. He's wild. We met him when we were in Nashville.
In the hot tub.
He was off his head. I was talking in the hot tub. It was like, what are you going to do if he because who was he fighting again?
Jake Ellenberg.
Was it Ellenberg at Nashville, was it?
He knocked him out with an elbow or something.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I'm sure we were talking in the hot tub about Jake's wrestling and all that, and Perry in the hot tub was just like, I'm just going to knock him out. Like, no technical thought to it, just the violent intention that he was going to knock Ellenberger out, and sure enough, cracked him with that elbow. So
it was a beautiful knockout, if memory serves as well. It was another rough one on Ellenberger's record.
Aye.
Have you seen, we were talking about Mike Perry, have you seen that he's doing a post-fight interview and he's talking about his coaches shouting to him? I think he's shouting, do you know what I'm talking about? Jab, jab. And he turns on and he's shouting back to the coach, I don't really feel like getting fucking jabbed and punched in the face. You jab.
I've seen it. He's pretty honest. You've got to give him that. Pretty genuine.
He's pretty genuine, crazy. He's funny. He's really funny, and certainly he's not a guy you would want to try and mix it up with in the street. No, if you're an average Joe anyway, it seems like a pretty bad move.
I've always thought guys with tattoos on their face are probably not the sort of guys you want to tangle with in the street anyway. If you're bad enough to get your face tattooed up, then you're mad enough for anything, really.
Getting your face tattooed is definitely a statement. I think you either need to be clinically insane or maybe a UFC fighter. I don't know. Or both. The other. Or both. Well, I think Mike Perry might actually come into that category. Other stuff, there's not been a lot happening in the world of MMA. Everything that has been happening has kind of been revolving around the UFC. So we've got Khabib now come out and basically saying he's out of the fight, and now there's talk like Dana trying to strip him and stuff like that. What do you think about that? Are we getting into silly territory here with this UFC 249 card?
On you go, Jimmy. They should have just patched the card. It became like an ego thing for Dana, really, now, isn't it? Like, the show will go on, but they should have just patched it, and then some of the backlash Khabib's getting is absolutely terrible. Like, trying to make it like he's afraid and whatever. The guy's most dominant fighter in the last while of the sport, top of his game, he's smashing everybody. He's not afraid to leave the country to come and have a fight with Tony Ferguson. But I think Dana's going to put a spin on it to make it look like Khabib's sacrificed the fight or whatever. But the guy's he's well within his rights to decide to stay in Russia with his family when there's a fucking global pandemic happening.
I mean, you see all the comments in that, and you've got to take comments with a pinch of salt. Half the people that are writing them are morons anyway. But some of the comments about why did you fly back to Russia, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, maybe if these people no get kids or a family, because that's the first place you want to go in a situation like this. Is you want to be near your kids and with your kids. A fight, UFC, how does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? It doesn't matter a great deal when you balance it against people's lives and stuff like that, which is where I think it's a pretty bad look for the UFC. I don't know what you think, Danny.
I actually read something a couple of hours ago. I think the backlash has had an effect on Khabib, because I'm pretty sure he's came out now saying if you send him a location, he's going to go. He's saying that he's going to fight now. I read an article. I'm sure it was only 2 or 3 hours old. So I don't know. Again, I have to agree with James and say it looks like it's more Dana's putting his foot down and saying, "Oh, this card's going to go ahead and this is going to go ahead out of pure ego," and it's just like, all the major sports in the world have taken a backseat. There's bigger organisations out there than the UFC, and they're all sort of heeding the advice of the governments and stuff worldwide, and taking a back seat. So maybe it is in the best interest of everybody if we just sort of deal with this pandemic and then get back to it. I mean, it's the game.
And if you look at the stats for everything that's going on in terms of just cases by country, America's cases is about 250,000 or something like that now. Thereabouts.
Well, what they've tested, so
yeah,
never really know how many there really is, and I think it's only going to get worse over there. If I'm honest. Yeah, I think so. I think the UK will hit its peak next week, or we'll see. The lucky thing for Scotland is I think we are a wee bit behind down south. So I think what they're saying, and I'm just going with what I'm reading, is that we might have went into lockdown just at the right time. Because England's first case was the start of February, our first case was March, so we might not be as bad, but I mean, who knows? Just jumping back on the fight, if they do book a fight and it's, let's say it's Tony Gaethje, it's definitely going to be a fun fight, but it's just not going to feel the same as what we were supposed to get in terms of Tony Khabib. Would you not agree with that?
Aye, that's the fight everybody's wanted for ages. That's why they should have just scrapped it. Just said we'll put it on at a later date.
If they hadn't already postponed it 4 times already, I'm sure they would have scrapped it. But I think the whole thing was, nah, we're not postponing this again. Dana's like, absolutely no way we're postponing this fight again after it being cancelled 4 times. But if it was anybody else, I think they would have postponed it. I read an article again the day I read something that they're talking about grounding domestic flights in the States now as well. So it might be the case where, say, they do find somewhere that they can do the fights. Fighters will have to drive across the country to get them. Or it's just getting ludicrous. It's just getting silly.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've openly come out and said the UFC's, they come up with one plan at night and then by the next morning everything's changed. So everything they've come up with isn't viable. When you're hitting that many roadblocks, it kind of gets to the point where you're like, right, that's it. The only good thing about all this, I guess, from a media point of view, is it's giving the MMA media something to talk about. Out with that, there's not really much happening.
That's all well and good for the MMA media, but there's guys like myself who are sort of in limbo. I've been dieting hard. I've been trying to train in isolation, spending money on a fight camp, spending time leaving my house to go to the gym, during this pandemic, so that I can keep somebody's ego alive, because he's saying he might be able to keep a card alive. I just don't think it's essential.
You're absolutely right, and I take it, I know some organisations paid fighters, but when Bellator, the guys who'd weighed in, then they paid them. I think did the UFC London guys, did they get paid?
They got paid.
They get paid, so would there just been show money though, they would have got, obviously. So with something like that, if you're getting that show money, is that for you, for your fight camp, does the show money, does it cover what you've spent?
Aye, the show money will cover what I've spent, and it would certainly help compensate the time and energy that I've put into the camp so far. But even like, for example, I'm chasing the UFC for answers. I emailed the visa specialist. I emailed my rep first, and I was like, look, what's going on? Like, is this going to happen? And my rep was like, your best email such and such, who's in charge of the visa. So I emailed them, and they were saying, there's no chance this visa's getting done. Everything's on lockdown until the 30th of April or whatever. We've told the matchmakers, and then nobody's passed that back to me. So I don't know at what stage the matchmakers were told that I wasn't going to get a visa, that a travel bans are very unlikely to get lifted, and this fight isn't attainable. Training away like that, and dieting and spending time away from the family, it's a bit frustrating.
Yeah, I was going to say, does that just, obviously you've got the financial side of things, time and all that, but does that just add on top of everything then, just a lack of communication?
I kind of get it as well at the same time. Like, I get it, they're pushing ahead with the 249, or they're trying to push ahead with the 249 card, and they'll all be all hands on deck to try and make that happen. But at the same time, like, you need to understand what the fighters are putting themselves through to put on. Like, if they must have got an email saying, Ken, we're not going to be able to get Danny's visa. This fight isn't attainable. It takes 2 minutes to let me know. No, not Danny. Sorry, this visa isn't going to happen. Like, and then I can go for there. Misery, as opposed to me just being in the unknown for the last however long since they've known.
Right, because I guess even though when your fight's coming up and everything's looking unlikely, until the UFC or somebody tells you can't get a visa, you really can't stop training. You've got to still treat it like the fight's happening. And
that's what I've been doing. I've had mad Jonathan Payne sending me these kettlebell workouts that have been taking the skin off all my hands. And like, ticking all the boxes. And that's all I can do. I can only control what I can control. But see, when I'm knocking my pan in and doing all this, and then for them to turn around, I'll be like, oh, we're too busy to send you an email, let you know the fight's off. Mm-hmm. It's just a slap in the face. So
yeah. And the other thing, I guess, the bad thing is that there's going to be a lot of fighters in your exact same position going through the exact same shit.
100%. 100%.
But effectively, what you're dealing with is when you boil it all down, I know you're classed as he's effectively self-employed, but you're dealing with a big corporation, and unfortunately, when it comes to big corporations in any walk of life, the employees and the man in the street doesn't really get thought about, don't they not?
This is the same company that you see fighters saying they've been cut and they've found out about it on Twitter. Like they've not had any word for the organisation or whatever. They find out, they wake up in the morning, go on Twitter, and it's been announced that they've been cut. So it's just the way they operate, isn't it?
And it's kind of, it's not only a great thing, but you kind of expect it as well. And so I was going to say, in terms of your dealings with the UFC, James, obviously you dealt with them before the takeover with WEM. Have you noticed a difference in how they've handled things with fighters and stuff like that?
I think before they sold, they were more professional, but there was definitely something going on there. I think where they were building everything up for the sale. Like they wanted to put together a package and then sell it over. But it's not really been a massive difference. The staff we deal with for the kind of UFC Europe office are they're decent. But when you start dealing with the main office guys and stuff like that, they're not really that. They're not that great to deal with. It's very impersonal. It's like, there's your bout agreement, there's the fight. If you need anything, phone this guy and stuff like that. But it's just the way the business runs, isn't it? But they do have a lot of, like, try to run that business would be a headache. Like, they've got 500 plus fighters on the books, all wanting to fight all the time. They've got managers to deal with, agents to deal with, and stuff. So, but it's always been the nature of that company that they don't treat you individually, or there's not a great kind of personal relationship with them. You're just another number to them.
Mm-hmm. I guess you're that number until you hit that certain stage, and then that's when the treatment changes.
Unless you're one of maybe 3 or 4 guys, Connor or John, or the guys that are making them a ton of money, and then you're not really getting that kind of attention.
A lot of the guys that hit that sort of level seem to have their own issues out with the sport as well, as has been highlighted recently. So Danny, I don't know if you've got a gun and a bottle of tequila, mate. You maybe get a wee drive. You'll be oil the news. It's obviously from a coach's point of view as well, James. When you see the situation Danny's in, where he's kind of left in limbo, how frustrating is that for you as well?
It's tough. Like, these guys need dates to work towards. Everyone in terms of performance is about hitting a peak on a certain night with your weight, with your training and stuff like that. So it makes it problematic. Even just the motivational aspect of it is the training bit. Danny would be fine just training away. It's the diet. The diet is an absolute nightmare. And then if you're stuck in the house like everybody is now, the quarantine, I know I've just been eating pretty much non-stop. Like, I watch TV, I'll go through the kitchen, eat some, watch TV, go through the kitchen, eat some, take the dogs a walk, and that's my day. So it is a problem, because if you're training right, you need a date, and then everyone's tailored in terms of your training and your diet and strength conditioning towards that date. And then you do feel a wee bit robbed sometimes if there's a chance that the fight's not going to happen. That's going to play in your mind, especially with what's going on just now. Like, everybody kind of expected Danny's fight not to happen, but me and him had to pretty much treat it as if it was. Our whole thing was, we need to treat this as it's happening until we find out it's not happening. And it's a problem just motivating yourself for that.
Yeah, I was going to say there is a side to that as well. There's that mental side of it where you're trying to push yourself to, especially like you're saying with the diet, you're trying to push yourself with diet and stuff like that for something that in the back of your mind you're thinking probably won't happen. That must be a nightmare as well.
The diet, James. I was actually messaging James the other night saying that. I was like, look, I've no qualms about training hard or getting fit or doing any of that. It's just I'm killing myself with the diet. And if I'm doing all that for nothing, I'll be gutted. And sure enough, you chase them up and it turns out there's no chance of me getting a visa. I'm just like, it's just frustrating. It is what it is. I just need to suck it up and move on to the next one. And
I guess you've got to hope that your name will be near the top of which I'm assuming is going to be a long list for guys to get booked.
I think with the... Sorry, on you go.
Go on, James.
It would make sense for them just to reschedule those cards, like move them, all the fights. They've got dates booked right through to February and March or whatever. They could just take the fights they've already signed. Like, Danny signed a bout agreement, so his opponent. They could just move it to one of the other dates. We'd mentioned before Dublin in August, which would be perfect because it looks like we're going to be in this lockdown maybe to June. I think that takes us up to like 10 weeks or something, and maybe longer. So it means coming out of the lockdown into a camp, which would be perfect in time to fight in Dublin in August. But there is stuff in the contract, I'm sure, saying that if you've signed the bout and it doesn't happen for certain reasons, they need to relocate the bout. But it makes sense even for the UFC just to do this 249 card, just to say, look, we've fucking done it, and then just patch the rest of the cards until everything goes back to normal over there. And then when it does go back to normal, they could just say, right, there's 3 fights from the Lincoln, or 3 fights for that Lincoln card, let's move them onto this card. There's another 3, we'll put them on there. Instead of running 11 fights at their next bunch of shows, put on 14 fights. Just until they clear the backlog.
Yeah, I think that would be a smart option. The only uncertainty is we're all working to the assumption that we're looking at June, but you just don't know. Could be earlier, could be later. Fuck knows what's actually going on. Or maybe all the crazy guys on the internet saying this is all a conspiracy about 5G. Maybe they're right. Who knows?
It definitely can't go on forever because of the the effects it's going to have on the economy. I know Trump was talking about people getting back to work. He seems to be shifting, getting more worried about the economy than the actual virus now. So at some point, everybody's going to have to go back to normal, and I don't think they can sustain stuff the way it is for more than a couple months.
No, I know the way my company are talking at the moment, and they're sort of looking at June, but they're potentially not opening everything up at the one time. So they're potentially going to roll out our bigger branches and stuff like that, then see how it goes in wider, roll it that way. But I think we need to start getting back to like life returning to normal. But again, there's an uncertainty for everybody this time. We just don't know what happens. Danny, quickly, when you found out you weren't getting the visa and you're like, right, that's it, I can't diet anymore, what's the first thing you grabbed out of the fridge?
Well, it's funny you say that. I went for a shop like earlier that day, or maybe the day before. I had all the days have merged into one now. I don't even care what day of the week it is the day. So everything we had in was pretty healthy because I've been training for the fight. But the one thing we did have was a big bag of Doritos, so I just horsed into them and tanked a lot.
It's maybe a good idea that you didn't go shopping the day you found out the fight was doing, because that could have been a totally different shopping experience.
Aye. But to be fair, like I said that to James, I was like, look, I'm going to relax my diet a wee bit, but I'm just going to keep the foot down and just keep training. There's plenty of stuff for me to work on from an athletic perspective, so I'm just going to use the time and come back better.
Keep yourself busy, that's it. And
can do well. There's nothing better to do, is there?
Currently it's try to keep yourself amused is a challenging thing. How have you finding it being in lockdown? How's it been in the house with your wee man 24/7?
It's been good because he's starting, he's learning stuff every day. Like, I don't think he's far away from walking now. I've been walking on this thing, but I just find myself walking about the flat looking for stuff to do, like just finding myself needless jobs. I ended up fitting some AstroTurf on my balcony today so that the wee man can go out and play on the balcony. That's what it's got to. And
so you get excited about the first steps and all that then?
I can't wait. I'm kind of excited but terrified at the same time. I've just ordered a load of magnets off Amazon so I can shut all the drawers because he's into absolutely everything.
I think my wee lassie, she's getting close to walking, but I'm kind of hoping she doesn't walk for at least another 4 months because I know what's coming. It is. I couldn't wait for my wee boy started walking about 9 months, and I couldn't wait for it. And then I think about 2 months, and I was like, Jesus, probably the fittest I've been in years. But it's what James, you were talking about constantly going to the fridge. What have you been grabbing the fridge? I'm assuming like apples and grapes and stuff like that. Nothing unhealthy.
I'm not that big with it's bread. I just like bread all the time, just toast.
Cheers.
Just toast all the time for me, man. It's just, that way you just open the fridge to have a look and you're like, I'm going to have that.
Just bored.
Just to fill the time. I remember when there was speculation about this lockdown happening, on the way home for the gym, I'd stop at the garage every night, and for some reason I started stockpiling pot noodles. So I'm still working my way through them, but I was like, if it worst comes to the worst, I'll have enough pot noodles to last me 24 days or something. But I was fucking sick fed up with them.
I've got my cupboards are full with no super noodles. See the wee cheap rubbishy ones about 29 pence. It's just my wee boy loves them. He won't eat super noodles, so I've got cupboards full of them. And pot noodles as well. But I think the one thing we should keep an eye on the podcast is just to see who shaves their hair first. Will it be me or will it be you?
Yeah, I'm just about up for my last haircut. By the look at this, look at this.
So could the lockdown be the one where Danny Henry just gets it whipped off?
Aye, it's looking that way. I've been threatening it the last few days, but I think it's I've had a good run. I think it's time for it today.
So sometimes, my mate, Big Naughty, Skull T, it took us months, and eventually I had to convince him, like, listen, mate, you're gelling 3 strands of hair. Just get up. Maybe after a few Heinekens, Danny, this might be the night.
might be, I said I'd maybe do it live for the podcast, but I'm not enough Heineken.
Need a few beer. Well, listen, I think that's us for this show, guys. Obviously, we appreciate you coming on, Danny. It was nice to get a wee appearance for the Dogs at the start. Actually, before we go, so who's the top dog in the house then out the two of them?
And here, the wee ones put on a good bit of weight recently. It's a chunky wee shit, man. He's started bullying. Zeus is the bigger one, but Zeus is still dominating when it comes to like a real fight. But the wee one's game, starts fighting with him all the time. So it's just it's 12 hours a day with them, two of them just fighting with each other.
So here's a wee game for you, James. So it's Zeus and Azzy, isn't it?
Aye.
Right, so if you to take Zeus and Azzy and their characteristics and compare them to two fighters you've got in the gym, who would be who?
Oh no.
So the fighter who you compare to might not like this, but I'm quite interested.
This is probably Stevie Mop. Big long legs. It's good. Keeps the range well. Can be quite passive, but as soon as you go for him, he counters well. It's decent. As he's a wee bit more aggressive, he likes to start the fights, even fights that he probably knows he can't win. I'm trying to think who he'd be like in the gym. He's probably a wee bit like Kieran Conlon. He's short, stocky, hang back in the day, just like annoying all the bigger guys that could probably kill him. That's what. So it's just Kieran Conlon versus Stevie Mop.
Jason Woods.
The Dragon.
There we go. I'm sure the guys will love that. But like I say, thanks very much for coming on, Danny. And just for everybody watching the show, we appreciate you tuning in. And as always, if you can go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the show, and by all means, leave us some comments as well. Let us know what you think of the show. And of course, pop onto the Higher Level Facebook page and hit like on there as well. And you can follow them on Instagram as well. Again, it's at Higher Level. But thank you very much for tuning in, guys.